Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Millennium Mind Shift. That is what we're going to discuss this morning, and we know what takes us to the place of abundance and what would sabotage our progress into abundance. Now, this training is crafted out of T. Harv Eker's Millennium Mind, Secret of the Millennium Mind. All right, and I will break it down as fast as I can so that we are on the same page. Some of us are taking this literally slow, and I mean, this business, we're just let me just try this. They say that you can make money from this. That's not enough to take you to the place of success. And for some of us, there's something that's holding us down. We don't even know. We're not even aware of it. And we're going to make that demarcation today because this is the second month of our qualification period to Seychelles. So after this program, you're going to move your mind to a place that it is possible for you to hit the targets. Even if you don't qualify, at least you would have made a lot of money. All right? So, but I'll start my testimony. I mean, some of us know my testimony, some of us don't. I started this business. I borrowed money to start in 2016, 22nd January 2016, 22nd January. But before then, you know, life has been a roller coaster of, you know, I have today, tomorrow I don't have. Before I started this business, at some point I was owing 3 million naira. I'm going to call the testimony short because of time. But that was how bad it was. I was sick and tired of, you know, not having money, because I was asking myself, is this how I'm going to build the kind of family I want to build? Is this how I'm going to live a better life? By living just on the edge. I couldn't even budget. It is those who have that budget, but I couldn't even budget because I didn't have. And it almost became a constant reality that I didn't have money for basic things, not even money to travel, basic things. And then because I was in Abuja, people who were not, you know, family members who knew I was in Abuja were depending on me. You know, once you're in Abuja, everybody thinks that you are piling up money and you're sharing money everywhere. But then that was when I began to think of how to make this money. I mean, when I was owing the 3 million naira, people I was owing gathered me and put me in the cell, and it made me sign an undertaking that every kobo I was making from my salary, I would use it to offset my debt. And that was the only way for me to get out of there, so I had to sign it. So my salary was diverted to a particular account, so it wasn't even getting to me. Every kobo that comes in, it goes to that account every quarter. Whatever the amount has accrued to, they use it to offset, you know, pay the people I was owing. We continued that for 12 months until I couldn't take it anymore. I mean, imagine working and you're not earning anything, you're not talking. How I was saving, I was saved by my friends, whom I would, you know, every now and then I'll go to their house and eat dinner. That was the only thing I could eat. And of course, that is if they cook dinner. And the dinner then was beans. Basically, that holds you. And then because I would always come to work very early, my boss would give me some money, you know, 500 naira here, 1,000 naira here, because he felt I was really, really, you know, committed to the business. I mean, to his business, which was my job. And why was I coming early? Because I didn't have money for transportation. So I wake up very early, 4 in the morning, 4:30. I begin to trek from Wusetu to Gariki, where my office was. By 5:30, I get to the office and I continue my sleep till 6:30, 7 when the office opens, and everybody comes and sees me in the office. So they say, man, this guy is a workaholic. They don't know saying that condition will bring me to that stage. It was conditioned. And then office closes by 5:36. I stay in the office till 8 in the evening so that I will trek from Garakitu to Wusetu. If you're in Abuja, you know how far that distance is. So that nobody will see me. I mean, in the pitch darkness, you know, nobody will see me. And sometimes, over the time, I got to know someone who who had his office around that Gariki too. So when I got to find out, I would hitch a ride with him and then get to work. So it was pretty much a devastating lifestyle that I was living. I was tired. I was sick. I said, I'm not going to continue with this because of 3 million. And after 12 months, I did my analysis. I still wasn't able to clear out 3 million. And that's also to show you my income at the time. So I had to stop working so that, if I don't have any source of income as a job, they won't divert any money again. So I stopped working. I had to give myself some sense. And then, but before I stopped working, I started reading books to increase my knowledge. My mind started changing. I started unlearning certain things. I knew I was sabotaging myself based on my previous programming. And when I stopped my job, I had to think of starting a business. I started a business eventually. And, I was able to pay off some people, but I wasn't able to pay off everything. All right. And some of you have seen this picture. I'm the one in the black T-shirt. That used to be me, right? And but of course, for some of you who know this, some of you who don't know this, I started my journey with this business in 2016, January 22nd, and I was sharing an office with a friend. And what made me start this business? Because I read The Business of 21st Century, and that opened my mind to the power of network marketing that you can leverage through network marketing. And I sold my soul to this business. You see, anything you don't take personally, you will not have the success you desire in that area. So I sold myself. And when I say I sold my soul, I mean, I sold my soul to sacrifice. What is that sacrifice? Time sacrifice. I cut off every other person. I said, if I don't have a father who's a Dangote, I don't have an uncle who's an Otedola, I don't have an auntie or a mother who's an Alakija, I cannot have access to bank loans. I don't have a brother who can give me 5 million if I needed it to start a business. And they tell me that I don't need much capital to start a network marketing business, but then I can become a millionaire. In my head, I was like, that's it. This is what I'm going to do. I didn't need anybody to convince me. I convinced myself. It was apparent. I was broke. Broke, if you're broke, you don't need anybody to convince you. I convinced myself against all odds. This wasn't the kind of business I loved doing. I hated anything that had to do with convincing or communicating or, talking with people. I hated it with a passion because my background is computer engineering. But unfortunately, my father was dead. He died in my final year. He wasn't even there for my graduation. And he left me with my mother and my brothers, and I had to take care of all of them. How would I do that? My salary as a single person wasn't that much. And I didn't see any raise coming from anywhere. So that was what took me into the roller coaster of losing money, because I was looking for how to make quick money. And of course, eventually it took me to the 3 million naira debt. But then coming out of it, I saw this. I didn't look left. I didn't look right. I didn't look at somebody who would say, is this what you have debased yourself? Because at the time, network marketing was not meant to be a serious business. People took it as a side hustle. Anyways, when I started, I borrowed money to start. This was where I was sharing an office with three friends. We were operating from here in Shalom Plaza, Gudu district in Abuja. But then, a couple of months later, approximately a year later, money started coming a little bit, but I was pumping back the money into the business. So I paid for another office so I would have a little bit more privacy. It was a cubicle. It wasn't much, but then I had my own privacy. So I see people making the same mistakes. You're making money in this business. You're eating all the money you're eating. No. You don't have to do that yet. It's still not time to eat your money. Put it back into the business so you make more. You have to have that principle. You have to have that mindset. Very important. But then in 2017, I was making money. I wasn't sending money to the house. I wasn't sending money to my brothers. I wasn't sending money to anybody because 80% of the money I was making was going back into the business, back into making buying credits to make call, back into paying for rent to get a better place that I could operate from because I took it personal, all right? Back into increasing my reach in terms of paying for halls to do outside events. I was paying, I wasn't making so much, but then, I wasn't making the excess of millions at the time, but then I knew that use money to make money. So the money I would make, I'll put it back into the business. In 2018, I got a much larger office that had a hall. This was demarcated, the demarcation you saw there. The other side was a hall. And then, you begin to see pictures and flowers in this office. Like I would jokingly say that when you begin to see flower in a man's office, it means that money has started coming in. You can't put flower. In fact, you can't think of flower and pictures in your office when you're not making money. No, you have to go to the grind. But then, well, Twitter was 2018, but then by 2019, I moved into my presidential office. That's where I operate from now. And then, well, if that is my 4-year trajectory, that's my 4-year experience in this business. Now, why I'm showing you this is not a business of uncertainty. This is a certain business that you are certain in 4 years, if you do it properly, that you're going to break even, you're going to enter into the millionfold. All right? There are no two ways about it. And if you have been doing business, can you chronicle your 4-year experience in your private business? 4 years of experience, can you chronicle it? You see, this is not, I didn't start, now, somebody will say, it's because you took it, personal, it's because that's what you're doing. Me, I'm doing my own business. I have other things I'm doing. It's okay if you have other things you're doing. But what's your 4-year testimony in that thing you're doing? So if you have an opportunity to increase in 4 years, why don't you take it? But something is sabotaging, even after giving this testimony, something is still sabotaging your success, and we're going to deal with it today. Because with this business, I've traveled around the world. I've been to Abu Dhabi, been to Makati, been to Batangas. All right. It's been an amazing journey. There are places I've been to that is not even on this slide. Boracay, Manila, Asia. And I've been on cruises. This was when we ate. Let me see if I can play this video. We ate breakfast. How many of you have eaten breakfast on water? How many of you have done that? You've eaten breakfast, not lunch. There's a difference. Breakfast, you wake up very early. Let me show you. I want to optimize the video. What's this?
But look at that view.
What if I fish and return the fish? Are you watching the view? What if I fish?
The view is breathtaking.
Wow.
And that's what we're all about. Own your life.
Now, this was in Bataan. All right, this was in Bataan, and it was super fun. And after this video, the breakfast came, and this was when I knew that my life has changed is when, as a black man, white man or white men begin to play drums for you. You have arrived. We started with the Own Your Life campaign, and then it's metamorphosed into the La Buena Vida project. We started in 2016 with the Own Your Life project. We ran it for 4 years, and then we upgraded it to the La Buena Vida, which is the good life. Own Your Life simply means to create financial freedom, time freedom, and health freedom. All right. Now, this was one of the experiences that, I found myself being played band and trumpets upon by white folks. Oh boy, I don't arrive. Now, I'm cutting everything short because of time, but I'm showing us this to whet our appetite. We went to one of the ancient places in Bataan where they used to act movies. So this is actually, and what happened? Okay.
Voila.
Yes, and you know, we had our own experience, and,
so
this was to me
to be in the car. I mean, we used to watch these things on the video, and now we're having the feel. But man, my stomach they won't blow. Yeah.
Imagine just having breakfast and then you now climb
On top of this. You know, this is amazing. Yes, that's a hot.
and this experience, guys. You know, when I got married,
We have
there was
some of our partners that's
there was no honeymoon for me, and I told my wife, "Hey, babe, I'm going to take you to the most powerful honeymoons, but then I need to grind for the next 4 years. Is that okay by you?" And she agreed. And first year, no honeymoon. Second year, literally no honeymoon. After my third year in the business, every day became honeymoon for me. You see, you have to make a sacrifice for what you want. And this was in Philippines. And then we, you know, went to Dubai, had fun in Dubai. And then, and I told her that I'm going to take you on a powerful honeymoon that you've never seen before. And she thought I was joking. I took her to Dubai, and I rented a yacht. Yeah. Funny thing was, if you're in the Dubai club, yacht club, the yacht is a bit, they reduce prices for you. So I had to go and pay, you know, in the Dubai yacht club. Plenty money though. And then I surprised, she didn't even know. I went to Dubai first. First of all, I went to Dubai for my course, the NLP course, Masters in NLP. So I told her, "Oh yeah, you guys are coming to Dubai, I come." And then the group came to Dubai, but she didn't know what I was planning. So I made all these provisions. I took her for the Dubai, all the, you know, sightseeing with the whole team when they came. Then she didn't know what was about to happen. And I hit her, boom, junior anniversary. And I took her on an amazing experience. Where's that video? Let me see if I have it.
all right, that's north. One way to north. Control them north. Alright, I've set the shipping cruise. My baby. Let's go. Yeah. It's our day, our anniversary. Follow me, baby.
Hello. Me, I know they hear you again. You be like your network on the field. Me, well, go sit that they hello. If you break my heart today, me, I go shop at the place. Carry another baby. If I want she wants
Alright, what do you want to see? What do you want to see? Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
I mean, what else do you want in life? Life is fun. Life, you're meant to live life to the fullest. You don't wait until you die before you begin to live life, right? So, well, this is just a short part of my story. There's so many things I've lived life in. In just 4 years, 5 years. So now I'm concentrating on helping others to get to this level of experience, right? But then, you know, what took me here? I'm going to break it down a little bit. This is 7:52. My mind changed. So let me, the slide is a bit long. So what I'm going to attempt to do is I'm going to rush through it. So you have to stay with me. All right, you have to stay with me. Okay, so bring out your pen and paper. Bring out your pen and paper. All right, because this might help you as well. So, what is money blueprint? The truth of the matter is most of us, our money blueprint is bad. So money blueprint is how you think, feel, and act about money. You have to deal with these things because I dealt with these things, and today my experience is unbelievable. anything I want to do, my experience with money now, money is my servant, but I never thought that would be possible, because I didn't come from a super rich background. I came from a purely average background. So how is it possible that money will be my servant? But I dealt with these mental blockages that was sabotaging my effort at the time. So imagine somebody owing 3 million and couldn't afford to pay it out in 1 year and having these experiences. Please, I'm showing you this not to impress you or oppress you. Nah, I'm showing you to see that there's a way, a better way, right? So that you stop struggling. Some of us are still struggling. And because we're diverting our focus and energy, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Choose one and do it and be successful in it, all right? So the root cause of poverty or riches is your money blueprint, right? So the psychology of wealth, the world functions on the principle of duality, left or right. All right, now that's how the world functions. The world functions on the principle of duality, and back of the coin, in front of the coin, sad or happy, love or hate. All right, that is how the world is functioning, is placed, ripe or sour. All right, so you have to find out that psychology and how it affects you. So outer laws of money, and then you have the inner laws of money. You have the outer laws of money and the inner laws of money. You see, 80% of people live based on what they can see. 80% of people live based on what they can see. What do you see? You see fruits. But the thing that you see, these fruits you see, are results. They are results. Something brought about the fruits. Something brought about the fruit. And what is that? The invisible part that you don't see creates the visible, which is the fruits that you see. Let me say it again. The invisible part that you don't see, which is the root, the seed, creates the visible part that you see. The invisible you don't see creates the visible that you see. So if you have the fruit, if you have strife, if you have anger, something is creating it from within. If you are poor, poor is the result, is the fruit. Poverty is the fruit. Lack of money is the fruit, is the result. Something is creating the lack of money. All right? So let's dissect it. There are four quadrants on psychology of wealth. You have the mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical. You have the mental side, you have the spiritual side, the emotional side, and the physical side. Now, what creates the physical are three things, three quadrants. The mental, the emotional, and the spiritual creates the physical. Okay? Okay, so we're back. Sorry about that mix-up. So, like I was saying, the mental, emotional, and spiritual gives birth to the physical. The mental, emotional, and spiritual part of you is the invisible part of you. that creates the fruits and the results which you see in the physical. And that is why the things we don't see controls the things we see. So the mixture of your mental state, your spiritual state, and your emotional state gives birth to the fruits, which is the results that you see today in your life. So if you are poor today, it is not from the village. It is from the combination of how you think, what drives you, and then your spiritual entity that gives birth to what you are saying. All right, let's deal with this today once and for all. Now, look at this. Oh, you see my Porsche, right? You see the money I make, you see the travels, you see all of that. These are results. Or you're having headache, you are depressed. They are results, they are the visible part. Or you're in shape, you're motivated. That is the result. Something is driving it from behind the scene. Therefore, my inner world creates my outer world. You need to say that. My inner world creates my outer world. Say that, please, quickly. My inner world creates my outer world. Now, how we create our results. This is how we create our results. You see, we think. From our thoughts, we begin to feel. From our feelings, it leads us to actions, or from actions, we create results. So you're thinking about something, you begin to feel. That thought develops a feeling, and that feeling leads to actions, which is tantamount to result. So be very careful. It all starts with the thoughts, what you are thinking. See, if you slap somebody, that is the result. It started from thinking. It started from thinking contempt towards that person. What does he feel like? Nonsense. He feels like he's the author and the creator of the whole world. Then you begin to feel hatred towards the person. It started with thought. You begin to feel hatred towards the person, and then the person walks past you and unknowingly hits you, and the next thing you have, action. That action is not because the person hit you. That action was because of the feeling you had towards the person. And what caused the feeling? Your thoughts. Some of you, right on the topic today, why are you poor? It starts with the thoughts. And we're going to break it down today. It starts with the thought. And that thought is that my father is not rich. I don't know nobody in my house is rich. And things are hard. And it begins to create that feeling of hardship. You begin to feel a bit depressed. And then what action do? You don't do the requisite or necessary action that rich people use to create success. So since you are feeling down, the action will not come, and then it leads to poverty. Are you seeing the trajectory, right? So now there are several scenarios that bring about these things, but then there are three methods of conditioning, because what brings about the thoughts that you think is the programming. And there are things that condition our programming. And it starts with verbal programming. Then you have modeling, you have specific incidents. Three programming. So the first is verbal, things you hear, things you used to hear when you were little, when you were younger. And then modeling, what you see people do, what you see your parents do, and specific incidents and, occurrences that happen that, programs things in your head. And those programmings are the things that make you think. And those thoughts translate to feelings, and those feelings give rise to action. Let's dissect it a little bit. Verbal programming. Money is the root of all evil. You've heard it. Your father used to say that. Your uncle used to say that to defend the fact that they didn't have money. And it has entered your soul. It's controlling you today, and you don't know. Have you heard of the words like rich people are greedy? Oh, you have to work hard to make money. You've heard that, right? Oh, you cannot be rich and spiritual at the same time. Those who are rich cannot be spiritual at the same time. You've heard that before, right? Yes, money doesn't buy happiness. Aha. Those are the things controlling you. So no matter if you like do this business for 40 years, you will still be struggling. Why? Because the actions you are creating is as a result of the feelings you have developed based on the programming, the thoughts, which is controlled by the programming that was conditioned when you were little by your parents, your surroundings, and incidences that have happened. But this is verbal programming. Money does not grow on trees. Don't disturb your daddy. Money does not grow on trees. How can we be going on vacations? So these things become part of your DNA. We can't afford it. So any little thing that happens, we can't afford it. Look at what Robert Kiyosaki said. You know, Robert Kiyosaki had a rich dad. The rich dad was his own, was his friend's father, and the poor dad was his own father. And this was what his own father told him when he was little. And that was Robert Kiyosaki. My poor dad often said, I'd rather be happy than rich. My rich dad said, why not be both? Can you see? Can you see how rich people and poor people think? I'd rather be happy than rich. And meanwhile, the rich dad said, I can be happy and be rich at the same time. So verbal programming is a very strong conditioning that determines how we think. Another set of verbal programming. I'm listing it down. I hope you're writing it down. So if you have all these things, we must deal with these thoughts today. You don't need a lot of money. Who said? I was speaking to one man, and while we were speaking, this was yesterday, and he's the vice chancellor of a university, and I was showing him the VIP. And while I was talking to him, do you know what this man was telling me? I don't need a lot of money. Once I have my house, my children are going to school, what else do I want? I mean, I'm blessed already. No wonder the world is breaking up, because he doesn't understand that this is a program that has been dealing with him. And he was trying to justify why he doesn't need to do this business, that he is already comfortable. He's trying to justify it. But guess what? It is an exemplification of poverty. You see, my mentor told me, and I keep saying this, therefore, if you think you are rich and everybody around you is poor, you are the poorest man on earth. So, but why is he saying that? At his old age, something is programming him, something has conditioned his thought and is controlling him. So when opportunities that will bring wealth to him comes, this phrase enters his subconscious mind, his conscious mind from his subconscious, and he declares, I don't need a lot of money. Are you seeing how these things sabotage our effort? So now a big opportunity has come for him to make excess of millions. He opens his mouth and says, I don't need a lot of money once I'm comfortable. But do you know what? The funny thing is that the school needs a minimum of 50 million as I speak to you, because it's a new school. And they've been trying to get funding from left, right, and center. And because he has this programming conditioning his movements, his actions, he can't even look beyond himself, because that's selfish. He can't look beyond himself and say, this thing you are bringing to me, I could actually use it, make a lot of money, and channel this money into the project that the school has, pending whenever we get funding. He didn't think that. And do you know, he doesn't even know that this is what is controlling him. And I was smiling when he was saying that. I was literally smiling. I'm like, oh yeah, there goes another one. All right. Now I know better. He doesn't know better. So what he knows is work hard for 35 years and the government will pay you pensions. Amen. That's what he knows. Work hard. And this is another thing that is holding some of you down. Work hard and get your pensions. Let me shock you small. Please do not put your future in the hands of anybody. Can you see, some of you, your future is already in the hand of somebody controlling you. Somebody says somewhere it is public holiday, automatically your mind, bam, shuts down. You want to sleep the whole day. You are being controlled. How? For those of you who are looking for pension money, excuse me, look at it. Oh. How many friends and family stole over 1 billion naira pension funds, and you are there working tirelessly for a pension that will be stolen by one man and his family, and nothing will happen to them. This was in 2017. Please, what has happened to me now? Please, can somebody tell me? Huh? So, newsflash: trusting your financial life to someone else is not the strategy for wealth. And the reason we do that is because we have been conditioned to do so. So wealth steps to change your financial blueprint. Quickly, let's go through this, right? How do you change your financial blueprint? Number one, awareness. You can't change something unless you know it exists. So today, you now know that there's something that is holding you down, which is your programming. So we have to change it, all right? And how do you do it? See, awareness is key. This professor I was speaking to doesn't even know he needs to change. He will most likely die a normal, he's comfortable though, right? But he's vulnerable. He's comfortable, but he's vulnerable. He's comfortable, but he's vulnerable. Because our people around him who surround him, are they comfortable? If they're not comfortable, it means that he is vulnerable, because very soon that's his child he's sending to school might be kidnapped. God forbid. Am I communicating? But what if he enters into the space of creating more comfortable people around him? These comfortable people will surround him and make sure that he is indeed comfortable. So awareness that you need to change. So look at this, negative and positive, right? This is how rich and poor people think. The rich think positively, poor people think negatively. And this is as a result of the programs they've had. Rich people are greedy. This is how poor people think. Rich people are greedy. They're only thinking of themselves. You ask them for money, they don't give you. Rich people think that rich mindset think that rich people are generous. Poor people think it takes money to make money. Rich people think it takes creativity to make money. Otherwise, there was a video I sent to the WhatsApp group, all right, by this immigrant from Iran that went to America and today is a multi-millionaire in dollars. All right. This guy he has several Lamborghinis, Bugattis, right? And what's his name again? Manny Cushman. He entered America poor, no money. But it takes creativity to make money, not necessarily money to make money. So because of this negative mindset, it takes money to make money, you now feel because I don't have money, I cannot do this business. Because I don't have money, I cannot pay for my commitment fee. Because I don't have money, I cannot. Are you seeing what's holding you down? It takes creativity or resourcefulness. You need to be resourceful. You need to be creative. You don't need money to make money. You need to be resourceful to make money. You can use other people's money. It doesn't have to be your money. I am too old to make a change. A negative utterance. I am never too old to learn. That is what rich people think. That is the mindset you have to have. I am too old to make money. No, I'm never too old to learn. Not never too old to make money, because it takes you to learn before money comes, right? So you have to say, I'm never too old, because when you stop learning, forget about making money or creating wealth. So we have to model these new things. How many times did your parents, now I'm going to the next one, the first one is verbal. Second is modeling, and the other one is incidence. Now, the second part of conditioning, you know, there are 3 conditioning pathways. So this is modeling. How many times did your parents eat meat in a year? Where did your parents take you on vacation? Did they buy you things only once in a month when they get their salary? All right. This is modeling. So you're modeling, the modeling that your parents, that you saw your parents do, is what has entered you, is controlling you today. Do you know that some of you still eat meat once, only on Christmas and Easter? I mean, you eat two servings or 2 lumps of meat or chicken on Christmas and Easter's. Some of you, the one that you can relate with is, some of you eat rice on Sundays. In fact, most families from the East, I don't know about the northern families, but most families from the East eat rice on Sundays. Every other day you can eat swallow, vegetable soup, beans, yam, but Sunday is for rice. Today you're doing it in your family, it's controlling you, and you're wondering, why am I doing it? You saw your parents do it and you're doing it. But is there anything wrong eating rice on Monday? No. Anything wrong eating rice on Saturday or Friday? No. Some of you, even though you have money today, you are finding it difficult to take your children on vacation because you never saw your parents take you guys to vacation or take anybody on vacation, and then you're not doing that. So when a business that can help you take anybody on vacation comes to you, you sabotage yourself because you're not thinking vacation. Nobody ever took you on vacation. It's not possible. So it limits you. Did they buy you things only once on Monday? Some of you still have that mentality of Christmas or Easter or celebration period. That's the only time you wear new clothes. I have to break all these things because it was controlling me. Every other day in the year, I must wear what I used to have. Then towards Christmas, I begin to save to buy Christmas wear. It's modeling that we saw because our parents couldn't afford buying clothes every day. So they only bought clothes to make us feel happy on celebration days. It shouldn't be so. And thank God today, anytime, every day I want to, if I want to, I see something I like, I buy it. All right, because I broke this programming. So modeling is another way to condition you, which is programming your existence. And incidents, all right? So things that have happened, you know, occurrences, you see your mom, your father slapping your mom, today you're slapping your wife, you know, it was an occurrence, all right? So this is a bit same thing as, almost same thing as modeling, but then the incident may not have happened with your parents. It could have been in the school that you went to, you know, one occurrence that happened that shook you, and you're believing that, you know, you can't amount to anything. So principle of wealth, successful people and unsuccessful people. Now, successful people say, I create my success and I take responsibility. Unsuccessful people think life happens to them. So they are victims, but then successful people take responsibility. All right. Now, so an unsuccessful person will say, I don't have money. I'm a victim. I cannot pay for my commitment fee. I'm a victim. Everybody's paying because God has smiled on them. They are fortunate. They are privileged to have money. Me, I'm not privileged. Yeah, this one has paid. It's because he has money. But it will shock you to know how many people went to borrow that 150K commitment fee. Why? They took responsibility. They say, this travel, I must travel, whether the devil likes it or not. They took responsibility. Blame. Unsuccessful people know how to blame. They also know how to justify that money is not important, like that lecturer I spoke about. Meanwhile, he needs money. Can you imagine that? Right? And they complain. So because they complain, what you focus on expands. If you focus on success, your success expands. If you focus on complaining, that complaining, things that will make you complain will continue to come your way. Now, next one is successful people think both. So I'm trying to tell you guys how to deprogram and what you concentrate on, because remember, it starts from the thoughts, what we think of. That thing we think of controls us, and I mean, it creates the feelings And the feelings leads to action, and that action is the result that we see. So if what you're thinking is negative, you will be unsuccessful. If what you're thinking is successful, you will be successful. So I'm breaking down the things that how successful people think and how unsuccessful people think. And write them down and begin to know when you are messing up. Successful people think both. Unsuccessful people think either or. Unsuccessful people resent the rich. You know, there's a way they look at the rich. Nonsense. You see DJ Copy on Instagram. Her father bought her a Ferrari. Is it because your father had? I beg, shift. Because you are resenting the rich, you can never become what you resent. Let me say it again. If you're the type that resents the rich, maybe because your uncle never gave you money, that uncle that was rich never gave you, so you have a resentment towards the rich. But you have forgotten that the reason your uncle is rich is exactly why your uncle is rich. Because he wasn't giving out money anyhow. So you had money to invest more in things that will bring you more money. But to you, you're looking at it as he's stingy. And because of that, you're resenting the rich. And because you're resenting the rich, you're having feelings that will continue to sabotage you, that will make you never to be rich, because you cannot become what you resent. Now, the poor people also think either or. So it's either I'm rich or I'm spiritual. It's either I'm rich or I'm nice. So if I'm nice, I cannot be rich. If I must believe, I'm a strong believer in God, I must be righteous, then I can't be rich. No. Successful people think both. So I can be rich and I can have a close relationship with my God. I can be rich and I can be nice. I can be rich. Do you understand? Both. Now, successful people make money to win. They create abundant riches. Poor people make money not to lose. I don't want to lose. That's why they're looking for security. They're looking for comfort, because they don't want to lose. If I put this money, if I put 150K for a commitment fee, well, what if I don't travel? I don't want to lose. So they don't go out of there. They remain in the comfort zone and they die comfortably. They die comfortably. Excuse me. The reason the rich are making money is because they're taking risks. And as they're taking risks, they're losing money and they're finding out how not to lose money tomorrow. And that is why 5 years later, they are rich. Because they've now found out how not to lose money. But because the poor man wants security, he has not lost money, he's playing safe, so he doesn't even know how to lose money. So 5 years later, he gets 1 million naira, he goes and puts it in MMM, everything goes. Why? He never learned how not to lose money, so he will continue to lose money till he dies. All right? So how do you think? Rich people admire other rich people, poor people resent rich people. Now this financial blueprint 2, no complaining for 7 days. So if you are here 7 days, write it down, you must not complain. It's a mandate. Number 3, start taking responsibility for everything that is happening in your life. Take responsibility. So let's declare, come on now, let's declare, I am creating the exact level of my financial success. Yes. Are you seeing part of the declaration we do? Yes. We are taking and bringing everything into context so that you know that we're not just speaking and making declarations for declaration's sake. I am creating the exact level of my financial success. Say it with me. I am creating the exact level of my financial success. One more time. I am creating the exact level of my financial success. Do you understand? You are creating it because you're a creator. So this is the exercise you're going to have to do. Now, let's forget this exercise because it might take time. It might take time. All right. But let me go through because of time. I have to finish. So number 4, set a goal for 10 times the income and the wealth that you have now. The summary of that exercise, you're going to do it at home. I'm going to explain it for you. So you do it at home. Please make sure you do it, please. Because of time, we're not going to do it here. Write out how much you want to be making every month. Is that okay? Write it out somewhere. You can write it out and then let's say you want to be making 500,000 every month. Okay, just write it down. You want to be making 200,000 every month. Write it down. Then if you write it down, add one more zero to that number. So if you're looking at 500,000 every month, I write another zero. That's 5 million every month. Aha, that is what you're going to pursue. All right, that is what you're going to pursue. Because what you desire has a plus and a minus. The things you desire has a plus and a minus. So for what you desire, if what you desire is not dangerously above you, you can't hit it. When you add a zero to it, it magnifies it, it makes it larger than life, and that brings out the power in you to achieve it. If you don't add zero to it, you will never achieve it because it's too low for you for it to give you that energy to pursue it. It's a different nomenclature. I mean, the explanation of this is deeper than what I'm explaining, but I'm just trying to summarize it. So add zero to it, and that becomes what you're pursuing. And if you don't get it, you're a failure. So make sure that you hit the mark, all right? You are committing to helping 10 times more people than you are helping now. So that means that if you want to make 10 times what you desire, you have to commit to help 10 times more people than you are helping now. That is actually the secret of wealth. If you want to make more, help more people. Okay, so declaration. I am willing to help thousands of people as I create generational wealth. Say it with me. I am willing to help thousands of people as I create generational wealth. I am willing to help thousands of people as I create generational wealth. Okay, so why get rich? Why must you be rich? Number one, your lifestyle must change. Yeah, don't you love these things? You know, somebody told me that Mark Zuckerberg doesn't wear all these designer clothes. He just wears t-shirts and jeans. Number one, not everybody would be as rich as Mark Zuckerberg. Get it straight in your skull. Pardon my French. All right? Not everybody will be as rich as them. My father died, he never was as rich as Mark Zuckerberg. MKO Abiola died, he was never as rich as Mark Zuckerberg. Where are all these people? All these rich men that we know in Nigeria, most of them are dead. Did they end up as rich as Mark Zuckerberg? Not everybody will be as rich as him, my brothers and my sisters. Not everybody will be as rich as Bill Gates. Not everybody will be as rich as Amazon owner Jeff Bezos. Not everybody, no matter how hard you try. These are exceptional people. I'm saying no matter how hard you try. So if you are part of those who will be as rich as Mark Zuckerberg, you will be if you apply these things. But there are exceptional few that will get to that level. However, those are exceptional few. So somebody was telling me that Mark Zuckerberg, with all the money he has, he only wears t-shirts. He does not wear blings. He does not wear a designer wristwatch. My friend, cut it off. He's part of the exceptional few. But is it wrong? No, it's not wrong that he wears t-shirt. Is it right? It's not right. He just wants to, that's how he feels. It doesn't mean that those who wear designer are wrong. No. That means you're thinking unsuccessful. You're thinking like the poor man. That is what he wants to wear. The designer guy wants to wear the designer, but where the threshold is make sure you have money. So you now decide to wear a t-shirt or you wear a designer Balenciaga outfit. There's nothing wrong with the person who wears the designer and the person who wears just an ordinary t-shirt. But what is wrong is if you don't have money. Aha, that's where the problem is. So how I define it is this. If you tell me that wearing designer wears is wrong, then I will tell you that buying a Honda is wrong. Buying let's use Honda that we can relate to. The question is, why don't you buy a car? All you have is the frame, just like a car, no design, as long as it will take you from point A to point B. Why don't you argue that one? As far as I'm making money, I don't need to wear designers. So as far as I can afford a car, the car doesn't have to be nice. Why don't you go and buy a dilapidated car that can still move? The engine is wonderful, it's nice, but it is dilapidated, no painting, no design. It is just square like this. Why don't you drive it? Those of you who are pioneers of detecting how somebody should appear. Because a nice car, well designed, is what is called spice. It adds spice to life. Without the spice, will the car take you from point A to point B? Yes, it will. With the spice, will it take you from point A to point B? Yes, it will. But you see, when you add spice to your life, you are a bit more fulfilled. There's a level of fulfillment you have. There's a level of gratitude. The way you praise God will be different from somebody who's praising God from Keke. If you praise God in that my Porsche, hey, angels will come and praising him with you. But when you are praising God in Keke, you are praising alone. Angels are far from you. They are flying, they can't even enter the car. The car is that Keke is too squashed. They can't spread their wings. But in a Porsche, oh my goodness, they are spreading the wing because the car is moving fast. They're in tune. They love speed. Angels love speed. Keke can't give them speed. Evil Honda cannot give them speed. Porsche is fast, so when they prefer speed, so they prefer cars that move fast. Amen? Yes. Let it enter now. In case you're asking me, why must you be rich? You come in close contact with celestial bodies, positive celestial bodies. But when you are in Keke, do you know the celestial body that will be coming to you? Demonic celestial bodies. Whispering poverty to you. Because demonic celestial bodies are slow. So they like slow things. Slow cars, slow life. Slow, that's where they inhabit. Things that are slow. Slow neighborhood, nothing is happening there. They inhabit there. The Spirit of God is in things that are fast, things that are lively, things that are upward. Like this car you're seeing on your screen, you think there's an angel blocking this car. Demons can't attack. Come on now, am I speaking to somebody? Can you see that plane? It is called a Gulfstream. It's very fast and portable. Angels like flying with this kind of flight. Amen? And you tell me you don't want to be rich? I don't know about you. Can you make, okay, let me leave a goosey soup today. Imagine that you are hungry and you don't spice up, no salt, no Maggi, no cube, no nothing, no onions. But you put all the healthy ingredients inside it. You put nutmeg, you put vegetable, you put watermelon. They say it's healthy, Abi. You put all the healthy substances is inside that food, and you begin to eat it. How would you feel? But is it bad to cook like that? No. Is there any flavor or spice? No. Do you know how depressed you will be? So this little, being rich helps you to afford all these little spices of life that helps to prolong your life. Look at this building now. If you wake up here, you want to jog around your house, you'll be jogging with angels. Let's leave that thing. So next thing you need the reason why you have to be rich is longevity. So you live a longer life. I'm telling you the truth. Do you know the kind of fruits I take every day? At least let it be that if God has destined that I will live to 100 years old, let it not be because of poverty I died at 40 years old. You didn't get that. We don't know when we're gonna leave, all right? But let it not be that our assigned time on earth is 100 years or 80 years or 70 years. After all, Baba is alive. After all, Obasanjo is alive. Even all these people are still alive. But let it not be that God has ordained and assigned that we're going to live for that 70, 80, 90, 100 years, but we die at 40 because of poverty. Am I communicating? Because it doesn't mean that if you're rich, that it is a guarantee that you live up to 100 years. No, that's not what it is. But what it is if you're going to be on earth for an assignment, you had better. And do you know why you will live longer? Especially if you're designed to live long by God, is you can afford the things. Now there are supplements, these supplements we're taking, it can help to prolong your lifespan. There are some designs, the DNA designs that can help to also prolong your life. If you don't have money, you can't get that. All right? So for longevity, yes. If you continue to enter keke for the next 20 years, you will die of heart attack. You will not even live to see your 60th birthday. Huh? But there's a car you'll be driving in, that car monitors your blood pressure. I want to buy this BMW 7 Series. If you're driving the car, it will be my Porsche don't do that, but there's a way it holds you. If you're speeding, it hugs you a little bit, and then your strap gets stronger. But the BMW 7 Series, if you're driving it is massaging you, and it's checking your blood pressure and your temperature. And then your breathing, if it's fast, it automatic. If your breathing is fast and it notices your blood pressure is high, it engages the pseudo mode and begins to play classical music for you. With the TBX 7 surround system aperture. As it's playing, Lord have mercy on his soul. Amen. Your blood pressure comes down. Then you park somewhere, and then the next thing you begin to sing praises to the Lord. And you tell me that your lifespan will not increase. God punish that devil. And another reason you need to be rich is to contribute to the society. Some of you are laughing, but that's the truth. Contribute. We fed 500 families in 2018. We fed 5,000 families in Abuja in 2019. In 2020, we fed 56,000 people in the whole of Nigeria. This year, our target is to feed 1 million families. In all of this feeding, how much are you contributing? If you're not rich, you cannot contribute. Some of us, even outside the 56,000 people we fed in December last year, all the leaders fed in their own individual communities, personally. Personally. All right? So if you're asking why you should get rich, these are part of the reasons. So declare today with me, I can be kind, loving, spiritual, and really rich. I can be kind, loving, spiritual, and really rich. I can be kind, loving, spiritual, and really rich. So it's not this or this. It's this and this and this and this. We can have it all. All right? So this is I've broken down how successful people and unsuccessful people think. Then let's take it a little bit further. Successful people think bigger than other problems. Unsuccessful people think they are smaller than their problems. Successful people think that they are bigger than their problems. Unsuccessful people think they are smaller than their problems. So this is you and this is your problem. Now, if this is your problem and this is you, all you need to do is to outgrow your problem. How do you grow? By knowledge acquisition. So don't always wait for us to do trainings for you to learn. Go out of your way and begin to learn. If it is how to communicate, if you don't like talking to people, begin to teach yourself on how to communicate, communication skills. I mean, thank God for this year. Information technology has made it so easy for anybody to get information. Just Google it, how to communicate, how to learn to communicate to people. Boom, you will see instances, click. In fact, you even see videos that will begin to teach you, skills on how to communicate with people, how to handle objections. Just type it on Google. You will see different results and you begin to go through them. You pick one thing from this video, pick another thing from this video, because most of the things they will be saying, you've heard it before, but you might just hear one thing that is new, you write it down, you click another video, one thing that is new, boom, you write it down. Oh, how to handle rejection, you internalize it, and guess what? you are beginning to grow above. Your problem is you cannot take rejection. And because of that, you are now deciding to quit this business. It is a problem, Abi. What do we do? Successful people know that they are bigger than their problem. If they think that the problem is big, what they do is they grow bigger than the problem by acquiring knowledge, requisite knowledge, to solve that problem. And so by the time you begin to get this knowledge, what do you think will happen? Boom, you grow bigger than your problem. But you see, you are still a bit slightly above your problem. So don't stop there. Do you know where you need to get to? Get to the top. Boom, become a professional. Will this thing be a problem again? Never. Once upon a time, 1,000 naira was my problem. Today, what is 1,000 naira? I've outgrown it. But if I did not outgrow it, I will still be suffering with a 20,000 naira salary, 70,000 naira salary. If somebody says, please, I need 1,000 naira, it will be pinching me on my body. I don't have 1,000 naira. Some of you, 5,000 naira is your problem. If your problem is today is 500,000 naira, you don't need to cry about it. Outgrow it. Run this business for the next 2 to 4 years. Outgrow it. That's the only way. All right. Then another factor of how successful people think is they act in spite of fear. Unsuccessful people stop because of fear. Successful people act in spite of fears. Unsuccessful people stop because of fear. All right. So in conclusion, make money to win, admire the rich, think big, be bigger than your problems, and then act in spite of fear. Question: are you ready to create your future? Are you ready to create your future? If you're here, this is a new day, this is a new dawn, this is Monday, this is a public holiday, perhaps maybe a time for some of you to reflect. Maybe a time for some of you to go step down and say, hey, I've been going through this roller coaster called life, and nothing seems to be working. What is the problem? Are you sick and tired of the level you are on today? Understand that something is controlling you. It's not your village people. It's not your father. It's not your mother. It's inside of you. It's your programming. That programming was conditioned either verbally or by modeling or by occurrences that happened when you were little. And they have been ingrained in your subconscious mind and is controlling your thoughts, how you think. And how you think is creating feelings, either negative or positive feelings. Those feelings convert to actions. And those actions are the results you see today. Remember, anything you see in the physical is the result, it's not the seed. All the things you see in the physical was created by the seed that you and I don't see. That seed is within. Change the seed, the result will change. Change the things you see, you begin to think differently. That is the seed, your thoughts. By the time you begin to think positively, you will begin to feel positively. And then you begin to attract positive outcomes because your actions will change. You don't need anybody to motivate you, you motivate yourself. But it all starts with the unseen thought. But unfortunately, our thoughts are being controlled by the programmings that are dormant in the subconscious mind. Therefore, we have to break that programming by repetitively speaking the things that we deserve. As we speak those things, they become life, they become substance, and they begin to get ingrained in our subconscious minds. Are you ready to create your future? Enough is enough. Declare today, enough is enough. From today onwards, I will begin to use the system in this business because I believe I can create more than what I'm getting today. I must run this business every day with no excuses. I must use the DMO to my advantage. I am a creator, and get enough. I will not stop until I succeed. I will not give in until I succeed. If others are succeeding beside me, around me, in front of me, behind me, I won't stop until my success comes. It is not over until it's over? No. It is not over until you win. It is not over until I win. It might take me 1 year. It might take me 2 years. It doesn't matter. It might take me 3 years. It might take me 4 years, but in my 5th year, I win. I don't stop until I win. Because I am a creator. I will create my experiences. I will create my success. I will create my power. Ultimately, I will create my future. Life is beautiful. Don't think less of it. Nothing is right or wrong. The things that are wrong, we made them wrong by our thoughts and programming. To the pure mind, everything is pure. If you think dirty things, your mind is dirty. If you see people as dirty, it's because your mind is dirty. If you see people as beautiful, lovely, nice, it's because your mind is beautiful, lovely, and nice. It all starts within you and ends outside you. How do you want to end? Create it from within, and I guarantee you, your result will be successful. God bless all of you as you begin to shift your mind to success.